What is going on, everyone? Welcome into another edition of Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube, where I'll be doing my live play-by-play and reactions all season long to college basketball games in throughout the season for the next week or so, and then we're to the conference tournaments, and then after that, I'm getting you through the March Madness tournament. But if you haven't done so yet, feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing play-by-play and live reactions all season long, getting you through this season and, of course, into that March Madness tournament as well. So check out my channel. Don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button as well if you wish. And I got you covered with play-by-play and live reactions today with a doubleheader. First game of the Sunday doubleheader will be the number 17 Villanova Wildcats traveling to take on the Xavier Musketeers. And then later on, after the conclusion of that game, I'll be bringing you to the rivalry, Michigan against Michigan State, so get ready for that one. But we're about 5-6 minutes before tip-off here. This one will take place at the Cintas Center in Cincinnati. We'll go over a little bit of the pregame stuff between both of these two teams before we jump into the game. I'll go over the away team, the number 17 Villanova Wildcats, in this one with a record of 20-7. Overall, 11-3 in the Big East. They've lost their past two games as they're 5-5 on the road this season and 2-3 against the top 25. As the last two games, it's been heartbreak for Villanova as they blew a 19-point lead last Sunday and lost at St. John's 71-65 as they turned over the ball 16 times in that one. They only forced St. John's into 7 turnovers total for that game. And then on Wednesday, they lost at Georgetown by 12 points in that one as they shot the ball only 24% from three-point range as Phil Booth led the scoring for Villanova with 26 points. We look at some of the impact players for today's game, and we'll start off with Phil Booth as he has 25 out of 27 games this season with double-digit points. He leads the Villanova Wildcats in average points per game as he averages 18.6 points per game. That's good for fourth right now in Big East play. And he also averages about 3.8 assists per game as well as he leads Villanova in assists. We look to a couple of other impact players. Eric Paschall also has 25 out of his 27 games with double-digit points this season. He leads the Wildcats with rebounds per game, just above 6 rebounds per game. And then don't forget about Colin Gillespie. He had a career-high 30 points back against Georgetown on February 3rd, as he'll be a factor in today's game. The strength of schedule for Villanova, well, right now it sits at 16th in all of college basketball. With action against the top 25 this season, Villanova's 2-3 against AP top 25 teams. They beat number 16 Florida State by 6 in non-conference play, and they did beat St. John's when they were in the top 25. Their losses came to the hands of the number 7 Michigan Wolverines back in November. They got crushed against them 73-46. They also lost against number 12 Kansas by 3, and the last game they played against an AP top 25 game, they lost that one. It was at the Fiserv Forum against number 11 Marquette, and they lost that game 66-65 as they were down by 15 points in that one, and they almost came back to win as they had the last possession before time expired, but they couldn't get the shot into the basket as they lost by 1 against Marquette. We look to that upcoming schedule for Villanova's. Their next game after today, they'll play Marquette again as they try to look for redemption, as both of these teams are the two clear teams that look like they'll be in the March Madness tournament, and then the third with St. John's right now. Other than that, Seton Hall, Georgetown, and Butler all look like they have work still to do inside the Big East to get them there. And those three teams, Seton Hall, Georgetown, and Butler, are under 500 right now in conference play. But Villanova is home against Marquette Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. That'll be an interesting battle. And then home against Butler next Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And they'll finish off the season at Seton Hall on Saturday, March 9th. Why is Villanova on this 2-game losing streak? Well, they haven't been able to drain 3-point shots like they had when they went on that 11-game winning streak during that non-conference play into conference play. Hey, what's up? Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Got a pretty good games today. I'm doing back-to-back games. Villanova, Xavier for the first one, and then I got Michigan State, Michigan going on later today. So should be a good day of college basketball here. As Villanova coming into this game as they're the #1 team in the nation in attempting three-point shots by a power conference team this season. They've attempted 73 three-point shots combined in their last two games. And Villanova right now, they've only shot the ball at 27% in those past two games from three-point range. They've converted on only 20 out of those 73 three-point attempts in the past two losses. Villanova right now is sixth in all college basketball in three-point shot attempts, #1 in as a power conference team in three-point shot attempts, ninth in all college basketball in total three-point shots made, and they average about 30 three-point attempts per game. That's currently ranked fourth in all college basketball. We look to the home team here, the Xavier Musketeers, 14-13 overall, 6-8 in the Big East, 10-5 at home this season, riding that three-game winning streak. They have not won a game yet against an AP top 25 opponent. As those key players today is Tyreek Jones, as he had 19 points, 12 rebounds in the win against Providence on Saturday. They shot the ball at 59% from the field for Xavier, 57% from three-point range in that win against Providence. Tyreek Jones had 19 points, 12 rebounds. And then following that up with the last game on Wednesday, the one-point win against Seton Hall, Tyreek Jones had 18 points, 15 rebounds in that game as he has had 8 double-doubles this season for Xavier. He's also fourth in the conference in rebounds as he averages just less than 8 rebounds per game, and also fifth in the conference in shooting percentage as he shoots the ball at 61% from the field. Najee Marshall is another key player for the Xavier Musketeers today. He has 22 or more points in 3 of the past 4 games that they've played, as Najee Marshall had a career-high 28 points against Seton Hall in their last game where they won by 1 point. And then don't forget about the point guard, Quentin Gooden, as he had a career-high 12 assists at home against Villanova last year. So he could be a factor again. Right now, Gooden sits at third in the Big East right now in assists per game. He averages 4.7 assists per game. Xavier, with their strength of schedule, overall 50th in the nation with their strength of schedule. Their net ranking right now is 89th in all college basketball. Games against the top 25, they did lose to Villanova when Villanova was in the top 25 as well. The last time they played them on January 18th was the first game. It was at Villanova as Xavier lost by 10. Tyreek Jones led the scoring once again in that game, 21 points, 12 rebounds. And also other games against the top 25, Xavier lost against Auburn, and they lost to Marquette twice. Their best win for the Musketeers, well, was their last game against Seton Hall, as they won that game 70-69 on Wednesday. Seton Hall right now currently on the bubble. They're an 11 seed right now in the latest ESPN tournament bracket projections. So we're a couple minutes away here from tip-off between Villanova and Xavier, as this is doubleheader Sunday college basketball. Game #1 of game #2 on the day for me, as the Battle of Michigan will follow this one. Michigan State against Michigan. That should be a good game, 10 versus 7. But we have the #17 Villanova Wildcats on the road once again. They've lost their past 2 games. Both of them have been on the road against a red-hot Xavier team who's won 3 in a row. We look to that remaining schedule for the Xavier Musketeers, and we see that they play at St. John's in their next game on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Then they're at Butler on March 5th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and then at home against the Johnnies on March 9th. So that's the remaining schedule up ahead for the Xavier Musketeers. So if they do win out here, Xavier would finish with a record of 18-13, which would most likely not make them eligible for an at-large for the March Madness tournament. They basically have to win out for they have to win the Big East title to get there, basically, to be in the tournament. And in their way. It looks like the only two teams that look like locks right now are Villanova and Marquette. Number 11 Marquette and number 17 Villanova. Right behind them should be in is St. John's, but then there's a group of teams that have still a lot of work to be done. Seton Hall, Georgetown, and Butler, all with losing conference records right now, trying to improve above 500 in the conference if they do so. But it looks like two teams are locks in the tournament from the Big East, and mostly it will look like come selection Sunday, only 3 teams will be selected, depending on how the rest of it falls down for this one. Tyreek Jones as well, being the key player for today. He leads the Big East in offensive rebounds per game. Tyreek Jones averages just above 3 offensive rebounds per game. So right now that is first in the Big East. We're almost here to tip off. Travis Steele is a first season rookie head coach for Xavier. He was the assistant coach to former Xavier head coach Chris Mack, who departed to take the job at Louisville. But Steele was named the 18th head coach in Xavier history, and we just tipped this one off. So Villanova against Xavier in this one. We get the right wing of the perimeter here. So this is Xavier with the ball first. Looks like Paul Scruggs with the left wing. The feet inside, and no good. A shot cannot go down there for Quentin Gooden, and it's a rebound by Villanova. So Villanova here in their dark blue jerseys, white lettering, and Xavier in their home whites and blue lettering. Passing around, trying to dribble baseline. Eric Paschal feeds the ball, and now inside, backing his way into the low post is Demir Cosby Roundtree. He misses the shot, and it's rebounded here by Xavier with 19:16 left to go in the first. So let's see. Xavier did step out of bounds on the rebound there. It was Marshall got the rebound. Najee Marshall for Xavier, and he got the rebound, but he stepped on the baseline. So Villanova will get the ball back here with 19:16 left to go in the first. And the inbound pass intended for Villanova teammate goes off a shoe of Xavier player. Paul Scruggs kicked that, so the ball goes out of bounds. Villanova, the inbound once again. They do. Pass the ball right corner 3. No good from the outside by Colin Gillespie. Rebounded by Xavier with 19:10 left to go in the first. Xavier at the left wing, now to the left elbow dribbling with Quentin Gooden. Passes the ball, and now it's going inside. Right low post, trying to back his way in there. The shot, no good, rattled out by Zach Hankins. Rebounded here by Villanova. 0-0, and we have 18:50 left to go in the first. Gillespie takes the ball past the timeline into the hands of Phil Booth here at the Xavier X logo at the edge of it. Passes it off to Gillespie with 18:40 left to go in the first. Gillespie with the ball with 10 on the shot clock at the top of the key. Dribbling towards the right, passes the ball at the free throw circle. Free throw circle jumper hits Phil Booth. Good for 2, and there's the first bucket of the game. 2-0 Nova. 18:20 remaining. Villanova's up 2-0. Xavier now with the ball. And now they're at the top of the key here, dribbling with his Quentin Gooden. Gooden dribbling towards the right side, guarded by Gillespie. Feeds the ball off towards the free throw circle, dribbling with his Paul Scruggs. Trying to go inside, up and in off the basket right there. Paul Scruggs, and it ties the game up at 2. Villanova 2, Xavier 2, with 18 minutes left to go in the first. Villanova now with the ball as they get the inbound. Colin Gillespie takes it past the Xavier X logo here. As we just got underway a couple minutes ago, Gillespie at the top of the key, passes the ball off to Phil Booth. Booth now passes the ball inside. Eric Paschal trying to go, and he gets it in between a group of defenders, up and in there by Villanova's 4-2. As Eric Paschal made his move to the bucket. Xavier now with the ball at the left wing of the perimeter. They pass the ball off to the top of the key. Najee Marshall hands the ball off to Paul Scruggs, right wing of the perimeter here. Now they're going to the left baseline, passing the ball around the perimeter. Right wing 3 from the outside. No good by Paul Scruggs, and a fight for the rebound, and it goes out of bounds, and it was last tipped out of bounds by Xavier with 17:12 left to go in the first. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to update the score here since we do have a little bit of a stoppage in time. So Villanova has 4 right now. Xavier is 2. And we do have a couple subs into the game here. Feel free to like my videos, Share and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing play-by-play and live reactions all season long to college basketball games. So we're back to action here. Villanova with the ball, 4-2 in the early stages of this one. Nova passing around the perimeter here with Phil Booth at the top of the key, trying to dribble inside. Booth at the baseline underneath the basket, kicks the ball back outside. Top of the key three, Sadiq Bey, and he hits it. 7-2, Villanova off the Sadiq Bey three. 16:40 left to go in the first. Xavier takes the ball past the timeline as Quentin Gooden trying to dribble baseline, and we have ourselves the first foul of the game right there. So finally, Villanova getting their strike early in this one from three-point range is something that they've had difficulty with the past two games, as they've only connected on 20 three-point shots out of 73 three-point attempts in those past two losses. Here we are back to action. Xavier with the ball, right wing of the perimeter, Quentin Gooden, and he passes the ball to the left wing. It's to Najee Marshall. Marshall passes the ball, left elbow here. Tyreek Jones trying to back his way in there. Baseline now. Trying to go underneath the basket, and he loses the ball, but it gets tipped out of bounds and last touched by Villanova. Xavier here. Looked like the refs did rule Villanova, but we're going to see here. 16:32 remaining. Once they get the replay back up here, we will see. I'm going to update the score once again, as the refs will talk about who last touched it out of bounds. It might have went out of bounds before a Villanova player did pick it up. That's the only thing. The refs will talk about that to see who will get the ball back here as they look to the replay, as they're at the scoring table right now. 7-2 the score. Nova in the early stages of this one. I'm going to go into the box score here, see if there's any stats that I can come by right now of anything. But the refs are at the scoring table here. So Villanova right now, 1 for 2 from three-point range, as their leading scorer is Sadiq Bey, who did hit the three-pointer, and then chipping in points, Eric Paschal with 2, Phil Booth with 2 as well. As the refs are trying to determine who last touched that ball out of bounds and what time as well will put back on the game clock in this game. So Paul Scruggs has the only 2 points right now for the Musketeers. Villanova shooting the ball at 60% from the field in the early stages of this. Xavier's 1 for 4 right now as I'm looking at these team stats. Let's see who we got here. 16:20 left to go, and it looks like Xavier will get the ball back on the inbound. So they'll have 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Godin passes the ball off, and Tyreek Jones, and it's a shot clock violation, as I don't think he noticed that there were 4 seconds left on the shot clock when he got the ball back on the inbound there. And Travis Steele can't believe it that it wasn't discussed winning his players right there, that they didn't take that shot clock too wise to their advantage, and they let it expire without even taking a shot. So the ball goes back to Villanova with 16:05 left to go. Dribbling towards the right wing of the perimeter. Paschal hands the ball off here to Javon Quinterly. Top of the key three. Quinterly, no good. Rattled out. Rebounded by Xavier. Paul Scruggs got the rebound just barely at the baseline. Scruggs takes it past the timeline. The score is Villanova 7, Xavier 2 with 15:45 left to go in the first. Dribbling around the perimeter. Paul Scruggs hands the ball off to Quentin Gooden. Inside, low post jumper. No good. And it's a rebound by Villanova. Joe Cremo off the bench gets the rebound for the Wildcats. They'll set up the offense here with Quinterly. Quinterly at the edge of the Xavier X. Dribbling at the top of the key here with Javon Quinterly. Passes the ball right wing of the perimeter. Eric Paschal, and there's another 3 from the right corner. No good by Phil Booth. Rebounded here by Xavier. Trying to go in tempo. Quentin Gooden passes the ball. Top of the key 3. Najee Marshall hits the top rim of the iron, and is rebounded by Villanova. So both of these teams cold shooting from three-point range the past couple of possessions here. Villanova 3 for 7 right now from the field. Xavier 1 for 6. We're under 15 minutes left to play in the first. The Wildcats passing with the ball around the perimeter. Phil Booth at the top of the key here. Feeds the ball inside low post to Amir Cosby Roundtree, and he misses the slam dunk for Villanova. It's going the other way. Xavier with the ball. The score is Villanova 7, Xavier 2 with 14:40 left to go in the first. And up and in into the basket inside the low post. Zach Hankins gets it to go for Xavier, and we have ourselves a 7-4 game. So if you're just joining us, we have 14:25 remaining in the first. Villanova with the ball, and the Wildcats are up 7-4 against the Musketeers. The ball at the right wing of the perimeter here for Villanova. Joe Cremo passes it off. Cremo with a three. No good. Hits the top of the iron. Rebounded by Xavier. So now we have 14:05 remaining. Xavier with the ball. They take it past the right side of the timeline. Najee Marshall, deep three. Hits it, and this game's tied up at 7. Huge three from the outside with 13:55 left to go in the first. Najee Marshall tying this game up at 7 between Villanova and Xavier. Villanova with the ball. They take it past the timeline. They pass the ball off. Left wing of the perimeter here. Eric Pascal trying to dribble inside at the free throw circle. Kicks the ball back out. Right corner three. Javon Quinterly, and he hits it for Nova and back out in front. 10-7 here off the Quinterly three. 13:25 left to go. Xavier with the ball. They take it past the timeline. Trying to go inside with a burst of speed. Najee Marshall, and he gets fouled. And Marshall will go to the line here for 2 for the Musketeers. But wow, right before that, we're at a TV timeout right now, but Najee Marshall on the replay here, showing you his touch from the outside, tying this game up at 7, but Villanova hit another three-pointer here. TV timeout, 10-7. Nova is up with 13:21 left to go in the first. So feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing play-by-play and live reactions all season long to college basketball games, so don't miss a beat here as I'm getting you ready for the March Madness tournament, and we're less than a month away, so that'll be good as well. Feel free to let me know who you're cheering for in this game, or if you're just a regular college basketball fan as well. Just updated the score here. Villanova 10, Xavier 7. This is game number 1 out of game 2 on college basketball Sunday today. Next game I'll have after the conclusion of Villanova Xavier will be Michigan against Michigan State. So that should be a huge game. Number 10, Michigan State going up, playing at Ann Arbor against number 7, Michigan. We'll look at some of the team stats here. Villanova, in their past 2 games, they've attempted 73 three-point shots in the past 2 losses against St. John's and Georgetown with their last 2 games. They only converted on 20 out of the 73 three-point attempts. They shoot they're number 1 in the nation right now in three-point shooting attempts by a power conference team this season. Villanova averages 30 three-point attempts per game. That is good right now for 4th in all college basketball for three-point attempts per game, and they're not scared to shoot the 3-ball at all. As we see early in this one, they've already attempted 6 three-point shots. They've made 2 of them so far, and we're not even 7 minutes into this game right now. So leading the scoring, as we're on a TV timeout here, is Sadiq Bey and Javon Quinterly, who both hit the 2 3-pointers for Villanova. So both of those players have 3 points right now. Xavier currently leading the scoring with a 3-pointer, and that was a deep one from the outside, like a 23-footer from the right side of the perimeter. Najee Marshall hit that 3-pointer. He also has 3 rebounds right now, so 3 points, 3 rebounds in the early stages here for Xavier. And let's see these team stats as well we'll look into. So Villanova shooting the ball at 4 for 10 right now from the field. Xavier's 3 for 8 shooting from the field. And Xavier out-rebounding Villanova right now 6-5. As we're in the early stages of this one. Feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing play-by-play and live reactions all season long to college basketball games, getting you ready for the March Madness tournament. Jay Wright is the head coach for Villanova. He's in his 18th season. He has a record of 442 wins, only 172 losses, as he's made 13 NCAA tournament appearances. Jay Wright and Villanova's made it to 3 Final Fours, and he also has 2 college basketball NCAA tournament titles in 2016 and most recently last season as the defending national champions. The first shot from the line, since we're back to action here by Xavier, they did get fouled before the TV timeout, so they're shooting 2 at the free throw line here with Najee Marshall. Missed his first and misses his second. Both of the shots hitting the front part of the iron. Rebounded by Villanova. 10-7 with 13:10 left to go in the first. Phil Booth at the top of the key here, trying to dribble inside. Speed burst past the defender, up and in. Phil Booth getting it to go, laying it up and in with his right hand. 12-7 Villanova. Xavier, with 13 minutes remaining, takes the ball past their logo. Quentin Gooden dribbling with the ball at the right side of the perimeter at the Carl Herp court logo, trying to go inside now, and up and in off the glass. Quentin Gooden banks the shot home off the glass inside. So it's 12-9. Villanova's up by 3. They take it past the right side of the timeline. Phil Booth here. Now to Javon Quinterly, who has the ball, trying to dribble right side. Now it's to Booth here at the right wing of the perimeter. Booth hands the ball back off to Quinterly, right wing of the perimeter, dribbling towards the top of the key. And now the feed inside as Jermaine Samuels tried to pass that one low post there to Gillespie, and it's intercepted by Xavier now with the ball off the turnover by Villanova. Top of the key lob to the low post here for Xavier. Taken away by Villanova off the steal. Colin Gillespie going inside and ripping it through the hands of a Xavier player. Now Villanova in transition, and there's a foul on the play as the score right now is 12-9 with 11:59 left to go in the first. So Villanova up by 3 right now. We have another TV timeout on the court. Going to update the score for you guys in the chat again. Villanova with 12 and Xavier with 9. Right now, 11:59 left to go in the first. As the past few possessions have been turnovers. So, yeah, a couple turnovers here and there by both of the teams. Javon Quinterly leading the scoring right now for Villanova. He has 5 points at this point of the game. We're on a TV timeout here. 3 turnovers so far by the Xavier Musketeers in the first 8 minutes of play in this game. Only 1 turnover by Villanova. As Villanova looking to play clean basketball in this game as they turned the ball over 16 times in the loss against St. John's last Sunday. Only 7 turnovers they forced St. John's for that game. In the loss against St. John's, that was the one they blew the 19-point lead. Right now, Villanova is up on the road by 3. We're going to look to the college basketball scoreboard here in Central Florida, keeping their bubble hopes alive here with Taco Fall, as he's the number 1 player shooting from the field this season, as he shoots the ball, I think, at around 70% from the field. It's incredible. He's also the tallest player in all of college basketball. He's 7'6", and Central Florida beat SMU today 95-48. So a huge win by Central Florida to keep their bubble hopes alive, and it's looking like each and every day it's getting pretty clear that this team is looking like they'll be in the March Madness tournament. And yeah, they blew out SMU. When you beat out a team by that margin, 47 points you win them by, there's no doubt you'll be in the tournament. And that SMU team has a winning record as well. They're 13-12 this season. So that's just a huge blowout today for Central Florida. Other games right now, how about this? Lehigh was the number 1 team in the Patriot League, and they lost against Holy Cross today. That game was at home as well in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and Lehigh lost against Holy Cross, coming all the way from Worcester, Mass, in the Lehigh Valley, and they stunned Lehigh 73-71 today. So the Patriot League definitely is a league up for grabs, as only 1 bid will get in. So we're almost back to action here. 3 turnovers by Xavier in the first 8 minutes of this game, and only 1 assist by the Musketeers. And here we are back to action. It will be Javon Quinterly who will throw the inbound pass here, as Villanova will get the inbounds. Quinterly passes the ball here to the top of the key, but it'll be a turnover by Villanova, since it was a 5-second rule on the turnover. They didn't get it in the proper amount of time, and they'll turn it over to Xavier. So it was over the 5 seconds to inbound the ball, and back-to-back turnovers for Nova. Xavier now Down by 3 with the ball at the top of the key. Passes the ball right wing to Kyle Castleton, trying to dribble inside, and no good off. Too strong off the glass. Rebounded by Gillespie here of Villanova. He takes it past the right side of the timeline. 11:30 left to go in the first. He's calling his play here, Colin Gillespie. Passes the ball off left wing here to Eric Pascal. It goes low post to Pascal. Kicks the ball back outside. Top of the key here with Demir Cosby Roundtree. Passes the ball. Gillespie. Top of the key 3. Hits it from the outside. Colin Gillespie. 15-9 right now. Villanova with the lead. 11:06 left to go in the first. Xavier with the ball. Villanova shooting 3 for 7. Currently from behind the arc. Xavier left side of the 3-point line. Paul Scruggs with the ball. And he passes the ball off to Najee Marshall. 3-pointer, and he hits the top of the rim from the outside. Offensive rebound. Xavier up and in, circles around the bucket. Tyreek Jones off the offensive rebound, and he puts it home. 15-11. Villanova up by 4. 10:37 left to go in the first. They take the ball past the timeline here. 10:30 left to go in the first. Villanova with the ball. Colin Gillespie. And he passes the ball off here to Eric Pascal. Top of the key 3. Nothing but net from the outside. This is the Villanova team that knows how to shoot 3-pointers. 18-11 right now. Huge 3 by Eric Pascal from the top of the key. 4 for 8 right now in 3-point shots from the field. 18-11. 10:07 left to go in the first. And the ball is stolen by Villanova. Pascal keeps it in before it goes out of bounds. Passes the ball off and off the Villanova save. They'll shoot another 3-pointer. This time no good by Gillespie. Fight for the rebound. Villanova gets the rebound, and they pass the ball off to the baseline, and looked like it tipped out of bounds by Xavier. Villanova will get the inbound here again. So, wow, what a save the first time around by Eric Pascal to get the ball off the Xavier miss, and then Pascal putting it in transition. They couldn't hit the 3 though for Villanova. We'll see what happens here. With 18-11 the score is Villanova up by 7. We're looking at this replay. What a beautiful job done by Eric Pascal to not go out of bounds. Just playing that ball, fielding it cleanly right next to the baseline. So Villanova gets the ball back on the inbound since Xavier tapped the ball out of bounds. Gillespie passes the ball here to Phil Booth. Top of the key for Booth. Passes the ball off to Pascal. Back to Booth. Right wing of the perimeter. Booth at the free throw circle. Spin move. And a foul there called by Tyreek Jones, who bumped into Phil Booth trying to guard him. So Xavier picks up another foul. That's their second foul of the game. So let's see on the replay here. Number 0 just bumping into number 5 of Villanova. Tyreek Jones gets called with the foul. So Villanova to inbound it once again, as they're passing around the perimeter. Phil Booth, left wing of the perimeter with the ball, dribbling towards the top of the key here. And now he's trying to take it inside. Phil Booth, no good, too strong off the backboard, rebounded by Xavier. The score right now is Villanova 18, Xavier 11, with under 10 remaining in the first. Xavier at the top of the key, dribbling with the ball. And it's Paul Scruggs with it, trying to take it to the left side baseline, kicks it back outside. Kyle Castleton, top of the key 3 with Elias Harden. And now when he gets airballed and it goes out of bounds with 9:01 remaining. So it did hit the net, but it hit the bottom part of the net and went out of bounds. So Elias Harden came off the bench, tried to take the 3-pointer, and it couldn't go down. Looks like Tyreek Jones checks out of the game here for Xavier. Villanova will get the ball back on the inbound. They pass the Xavier X logo at half court. They're dribbling towards the low post. Phil Booth kicks the ball back outside, right corner here with Sadiq Bey, and they're passing around the perimeter into the hands of Eric Pascal, dribbling left side of the perimeter. Left side of the perimeter here, trying to dribble left elbow. Booth kicks the ball back outside. Top of the key 3 off the rim. Short by Jermaine Samuels. Offensive rebound by Villanova. Right corner 3. No good. And another offensive rebound off the Tim Saunders. Missed by Nova. They'll set up the offense again with Gillespie with the ball. 22 seconds left on the shot clock. 8:14 left to go in the game clock. Colin Gillespie with the ball. Off of a couple offensive rebounds for Villanova, and they still have the ball in this possession. Try to go inside. Eric Pascal, jumper in the key, and it hits the rim short. Another offensive rebound by Phil Booth. Trying to back his way in there. Right elbow, spin move, and it looks like we got a foul call by Xavier. Paul Scruggs trying to guard Phil Booth inside the low post right there, and Scruggs bumping into Phil Booth. So I'm going to update the score here. We do have a TV timeout with an 18-11 score. Villanova absolutely ripping the boards apart with, I think, like 3 or 4 offensive rebounds a row in that last possession. It looks like 4 offensive rebounds in this game so far by Villanova. So out rebounding Xavier on the offensive end currently 4-1 at this point. Gonna update the score here. 7:54 left to go in the first. Villanova 18, Xavier 11. So Villanova still has possession of this ball when we get back to action here. So right now, the Wildcats shooting the ball from the field at 7 for 18 currently in this one. 4 for 11 for 3-point shots already in this game. They average 33-point shot attempts per game. That is good for 4th in all college basketball for most 3-pointers averaged per game. Xavier shooting the ball from the field right now. They're 5 for 13 currently in this one from 3-point range, only hitting 1 out of 5 from behind the arc right now for Xavier. They've turned the ball over 4 times so far by the Musketeers. Also have 3 fouls charged on them in this game. Villanova with 2 so far. We're going to look at the box score here, and looks like Paul Scruggs already in a little bit of foul trouble for Xavier. He has 2 fouls so far, 2 points. Everybody in the starting 5 has 2 points or more so far for Xavier. As Zach Hankins has 2. It looks like Quentin Gooden in there with 2. And then Najee Marshall, leading scorer with 3. Paul Scruggs with 2. And then Tyreek Jones with 2 as well. We did see Tyreek Jones go to the bench for a few minutes. He did pick up his first foul a few minutes ago in this game. Looks like for Villanova, there's a tie between the leading scorers right now. 2 players with 5 points. Eric Pascal with 5, as he's 1 for 1 from behind the arc shooting, and Javon Quinterly also with 5 points right now for Villanova. So the score right now, Villanova 18, Xavier 11 with 7:54 left to go in the first. We are on a TV timeout. We'll get back to action very shortly here. Feel free to like my videos, share and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing play-by-play and live reactions all season long to college basketball games, so don't miss a beat here throughout the season and the March Madness tournament with Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. So Travis Steele inside the huddle right now, trying to get his Xavier team back into this game at home, as the rookie head coach became the 18th head coach in Xavier history, as he was hired after the former Xavier head coach Chris Mack left the program to go coach the Louisville Cardinals. So we're going to get back to action here. 3 offensive rebounds on this possession for Villanova, as they'll passing the ball. Left wing 3 from outside, actually from the left corner, was Phil Booth, and the ball tipped back out to Villanova again with another rebound. So 18-11 again. Phil Booth with the ball, dribbling baseline, deep 2 jumper. Hits it finally. 20-11 right now. Villanova up by 9 with 7:35 left to go in the first. Largest lead of the game. Up by 9 for the Wildcats. Xavier with the ball. They take it past the timeline. Quentin Gooden, top of the key 3. Hits it from the outside. Showing you his touch, and Quentin hits that one 20-14. 7:15 left to go in the first. They pass the Xavier logo into the hands of Gillespie. Right wing here. Passes the ball. Top of the key here to Jermaine Samuels. Ball goes into the hands of Phil Booth. At the top of the key. Phil Booth at the free throw circle. Feeds the ball. Bounce pass there inside the Demir Cosby. Roundtree misses the slam dunk though. But Villanova with another offensive rebound. Setting up the offense here. Gillespie at the left wing. Dribbling. And he passes the ball around the perimeter here. Right side of the perimeter. Phil Booth. Booth. 3-pointer. And No good, but an offensive foul call by Villanova. Let's see. Looked like first when we thought about it was an offensive foul. Phil Booth took the three-pointer here. As Najee Marshall tried to block the shot. And yeah, it'll be a turnover and an offensive foul by Villanova as the ball goes back to Xavier, down by 6. 20-14, top of the key three. No good. Hits the top part of the iron by Quentin Gooden. Rebounded here by Villanova. 6:25 left to go in the first. Villanova takes it past the timeline. It's Javon Quinterly, who dribbles towards the left side of the perimeter. Hands the ball off to Pascal. Top of the key three. Pascal, and hits the top part of the rim there. Rebounded by Xavier. Xavier passes the ball to the left wing here to Najee Marshall, and they're trying to go low post. They pass the ball inside, and the two-handed slam jam. Number 35, Zach Hinkins, gets the slam dunk off the feed down into the low post. 20-16, Xavier cutting into the Nova lead, only down by 4 right now. 10 points in the paint by Xavier so far, only 2 by Villanova. Villanova trying to get the three-point shots to fall here. That's what they do best, is attempting three-point shots. Phil Booth. And the alley-oop pass. Jam. Eric Pascal with a slam. Nobody to even cover Pascal on the backside, and Phil Booth with a beautiful assist as Villanova takes the 6-point lead. 22-16 with 5:20 left to go in the first. Right wing of the perimeter here. It's Elias Harden who passes the ball off. And now it goes back to the right wing with Harden. 3-ball from outside. Nails it. Elias Harden as it goes ring around into the bucket. 22-19. Xavier down by 3. Villanova with the ball. 5 minutes left to go in the first. Villanova takes it past the Xavier X logo. They pass the ball left wing in the perimeter to Phil Booth. Passes the ball here to the top of the key. Back to the left wing. Booth. Left wing. Deep 3. It goes down. Phil Booth connecting. 25-19 here. Villanova, basically almost every single possession they attempt a three-pointer. They're up by 6 right now. Xavier with the ball. 4:30 left to go in the first. Xavier passing the ball to the left wing of the perimeter. Paul Scruggs. And it goes to Quentin Gooden here. Gooden. And the feed inside. Najee Marshall with a ball off the Gooden pass into the lane. It goes up and in as he lays it home. 25-21. Najee Marshall coming off from a career high 28-point game on Wednesday in the 1-point win against Seton Hall for Xavier. Villanova up by 4. 4 minutes left to go in the first. Dribbling towards the left side of the perimeter here. Phil Booth trying to back his way in there. Kicks the ball back outside. Gillespie trying to go inside, looking for somebody. Passes the ball back outside to Villanova. Spin move inside and almost lost control of the ball was Javon Quinterly. Tie up with the ball on the court as Quinterly fell to the ground with the ball with 3:46 left to go in the first. And there was a tie-up on the court as we do have a TV timeout. So I'm going to see who got possession over the last possession. I'm going to update the chat again for you guys. Villanova right now is up by 4 with 3:46 left to go in the first. 25-21. So they say Villanova turnover, so that tie ball will go possession arrow back to Xavier. So once we get back to action, Xavier will get the ball on the inbound here. We look to the box score since we're on TV timeout with 3:46 left to go in the first. Eric Pascal and Phil Booth leading the scoring right now for the Wildcats. They have 7 points. Javon Quinterly with 5, and we look into a couple of other stats. Looks like Phil Booth is leading the rebounding for Villanova as well, as he has 3 rebounds right now in this game. Gonna look at Xavier right now with their leading scorers. Here we go. 5 points as there's a tie for the leading scorer. Najee Marshall and Quentin Gooden both with 5 right now. As we look to some of these team stats, Villanova's already attempted 14 three-point shots in this first half, and we're not even done just yet. So almost halfway to their 30 once they attempt another three-point shot. They average 33 pointers per game. Villanova on the rebounds, out-rebounding Xavier right now 6-1 on the offensive end and 15-9 total in this game. As there was a possession where Villanova had 4 rebounds before they finally got the basket in. So they had 4 offensive rebounds before they finally got in a bucket on one of their possessions. They were just chewing up a bunch of time off the clock during that possession. As we look to some of the stats here, Villanova shooting the ball 5 for 14 from three-point range. Xavier's 3 for 8 right now. However, Xavier shooting the ball a little bit better than Villanova from the field. Xavier shooting the ball at 9 for 18 from the field. Villanova shooting the ball 10 for 24 at this current point in the game. So we're almost back to action here between Villanova and Xavier with 3:46 left to go in the first. Already 14 three-point shot attempts by the Wildcats. A lot of three-pointers in the early stages here for Villanova. That's what they do the most, as they are inside, I think, the top 5 in all of college basketball in three-point attempts. Number 1 out of three-point attempts by a major power conference team this season. So we're going to get back to action here. Xavier will get the inbound off the Villanova turnover. They've only taken 10 two-point attempts, but have attempted 14 three-point shots. Xavier right there, as there was a little bit of a tie-up as Xavier had the ball at the left wing of the perimeter towards the Cintas Center logo, and 2 Villanova players regarding the Xavier player right there. And it looks like Xavier will get the ball here back on the inbound. So that was a foul called by Villanova. They tried to tie up Xavier right there, force him into a turnover. So Xavier down by 4 will get the ball back with 3:33 left to go in the first. They have it at the edge of the Xavier X here. They pass the ball off left wing of the perimeter. And the feed down the side of the low post. Jumper side of the low key. And it won't go home by Tyreek Jones. But it looks like we do have a foul on the play. It looks like an offensive foul by Tyreek Jones as he was guarded by Jermaine Samuels down inside the low post, and Samuels took the charge there. So, yep. So Tyreek Jones just got charged his second personal foul of the game, just using too much elbow inside, trying to back his way inside the low post, and knocked over Jermaine Samuels, trying to guard him for Villanova. Number 23 going down on the court, taking the charge right there. He fell hard down on the court. Yep, he just used his elbow right there to knock down Samuel, so the lob pass right inside the key. And then Tyreek Jones just bumping Jermaine Samuels right there with his elbow. So the refs are going to look in to see what that will be. Flagrant 1 or flagrant 2, we're going to see. As the refs were at the scoring table trying to figure out what they wanted to charge Tyreek Jones with a foul with. He did pick up his second foul of the game right there. I'm going to update the score here. I do believe it's a flagrant 1. And the refs will say, yeah, it was determined either between a flagrant 1, flagrant 2, or none. And they said it was a basketball play, so no. And here we are again, just Villanova will get the ball inside the low post, no good, with 3 minutes left to go in the first. 25-21. Try to go to feed inside, and what a block from behind by Villanova. Xavier got the ball back, and they try to slam jam the ball, but from behind, Jermaine Samuels comes in to make sure that's not a sure slam dunk by Zach Hankins. He does get fouled on the play, so Hankins will shoot 2 from the free throw line here with 2:55 left to go in the first. First shot from the line goes down, 25-22. Second shot goes down as well by Zach Hankins. On the season, Zach Hankins was shooting the ball at 61% from the free throw line, and he hit them both. Villanova with the ball now. They take it past the timeline. Take it past that X logo. And they're dribbling towards the left side of the perimeter. Left wing three. Nothing but net from the outside by Phil Booth. Swoosh on that one and back out in front by 5. 28-23. 2:35 left to go in the first. Xavier with the ball. 6 for 15 from the outside right now for Villanova. The feed inside, and nobody covered Zach Hankins down low, and Hankins just opened to put it right up the backboard up and in. 28-25. Back to a 3-point lead for Nova. 2:15 left to go in the first. Colin Gillespie takes the ball past the timeline here. The right side passes the ball off. Right wing to Eric Pascal. Passes the ball here. Sadiq Bey at the top of the key. Passing it to Phil Booth, and we do have a foul call by Xavier on a reach-in. Looks like that one was called by Quentin Gooden of the Musketeers. So we're a couple minutes away here from halftime, and I'll get you updates with the scoring of what's been going on in college basketball, and I'll get you into the box score of this game as well. Villanova gets the inbound back to Gillespie. Passes the ball right wing of the perimeter here for the Wildcats, trying to dribble. Right wing three, Phil Booth. Hits the top of the iron, couldn't fall into the bucket. Rebounded by Xavier, 28-25, down by 3. Xavier's missed the last 4 shots from the field. Spin move, inside low post jumper, and a foul called. As a foul was called inside the low post by Colin Gillespie, who tried to take the charge after Najee Marshall went inside the low post with a spin move, but he couldn't get in position for the charge, and it will be a foul called by Gillespie. So Najee Marshall to the line for 2 for Xavier. Hits his first. It's a 72% shooter at the charity stripe this season. He hit his first. Najee Marshall, the sophomore, number 13 from Atlantic City, New Jersey, hits his second one, and we got ourselves a 1-point game, 28-27. 1:49 left to go in the first. Villanova will get the ball here on the inbound. In order to make it into the March Madness tournament, Xavier needs to win out in the Big East tournament and win in the title game. At the free throw line, try to go inside is Villanova, and right there, Xavier with a huge deflection down inside the low post, but Eric Pascal right here, he was guarded on the replay by Najee Marshall, and Marshall with a huge swat, but there was a foul on the play. That was a turnover, yeah. So that was a turnover by Villanova. It looked like inside the low post. It did look like Pascal did travel with it, and that was the key. Ball stolen by Villanova, and bodies hit the floor here with Xavier and Villanova on a tie-up possession arrow going back to the Wildcats. So 2 bodies collide just right outside mid-court, on the court right there, and it looks like Villanova will get the possession arrow back. 17 points combined by Phil Booth and Eric Pascal. The rest of the team for Villanova right now only has 11. Villanova will get the ball back on the inbound with 1:20 left to go in the first. Looking for somebody's open. Phil Booth is wide open, and right there to the bucket up and in. What a pass by Jermaine Samuels to shoot it all the way to the bucket of Phil Booth to tap that one home. 30-27, and Xavier trying to do the same, and it's a lob pass just over the top of the head of Zach Hankins, and it goes out of bounds. What a beautiful pass right here. Jermaine Samuels wasn't the one who passed it. Looking at the jersey now, it was 15. It was Sadiq Bey who passed that one, and a tap in there by Phil Booth to hit that one home. 30-27. Villanova again with the ball off the turnover by Xavier, and Villanova with Phil Booth dribbling inside right there, turns it over himself as he tried to get around Quentin Gooden, and he gets called with an offensive foul. So another turnover by Villanova. Phil Booth checks out of the game here. 30-27 with 58.3 seconds left to go before halftime. Xavier will get the ball here on the inbound. They take it past the X. They pass the ball right wing of the perimeter. Najee Marshall They only need a three-pointer to tie this game up. And they pass the ball here, top of the key to Quentin Gooden. Passes the ball, low post jumper. No good by Zach Hankins. Rebounded by Villanova. 35 seconds left to go before halftime. Villanova's up by 3, 30-27. Javon Quinterly takes it past the timeline. We have a foul called and a timeout on the court. Looks like Xavier committed the reach in on Quinterly. We'll be back in just a moment here. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing play-by-play and live reactions all season long to college basketball games, so don't miss a beat here throughout this season. So I'm going to update the score here for you guys. Villanova 30-27 up against Xavier. We're less than a month away to March Madness. I think 3 weeks away or so to March Madness. March 17th is the exact date for that one. We look to the Big East. A possible 6 teams could be in that tournament. It looks like 2 are locks right now. Marquette and Villanova. St. John's looks like most likely in, but Butler in there with Seton Hall and Georgetown. Needs some more work to do to get them into the tournament. We're back to action here. Villanova with the inbound. 17 seconds left. Ball into the hands of Eric Paschal. Passes the ball. Right wing to Phil Booth, and he forces a shot up. No good, but an offensive rebound by Villanova. Top of the key 3. Hits the rim short. Battle for the rebound. Xavier has it. 4 seconds left. Xavier with the ball. Left wing 3 from the Cintas Center logo. No good, and we're going to halftime. 30-27 here at the half as the three-pointer with 4 seconds left cannot fall into the bucket for Xavier. And we got ourselves halftime here. Villanova up by 3. Gonna update the score here for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe to my channel, as well as I'll be doing play-by-play and live reactions all season long to college basketball games throughout this season. And, of course, don't miss out on the March Madness tournament. 30-27 at the half. Going to update you guys with what's been going on right now in this game, inside the box score and the team stats, and also we'll get into the college basketball scoreboard from today's games. So we're at halftime right now between Villanova and Xavier. Leading the way for the Villanova Wildcats is Phil Booth. He has 12 points currently, leading the team right now. He's 2 for 5, shooting from behind the arc. And then second on the Wildcats right now is Eric Paschal with 7. And Javon Quinterly coming off the bench with 5 points right now for Villanova. As we look to the Xavier Musketeers, their leading scorer is Zach Hankins, who has 8 points right now for Xavier. And then Najee Marshall coming in with 7 points. In a little bit of a foul trouble right now is Tyreek Jones. He has 2 fouls already. And Paul Scruggs with 2 fouls at the half for Xavier. We got a couple of players in foul trouble as well for Villanova. 2 fouls by Demir Cosby Roundtree, as he was held scoreless in the first half. Phil Booth with 2 fouls as well. He's the leading scorer right now for Villanova, and also 2 fouls added in by Colin Gillespie. He's only hit 1 3-pointer today. He's 1 for 3 from the outside. So as we look to the team stats currently in this one, Villanova attempted 18 3-point shots in the first half. They average about 33-point shots per game. As I'm going to pull up these stats, what I had there. Right now, 6th in all college basketball in 3-point shot attempts this season. 9th in total 3-point shots made this season for Villanova. As, yeah, they are the #1 team in the nation as a power conference. #1 power conference team in all college basketball right now to attempt the most 3-point shots this season. As right now from the floor at halftime, Villanova shooting the ball at 40% at the half. And Xavier is 10 for 21, so they're just below 48% shooting at the half. So Villanova's attempted only 12 two-point shots in that first half. They hit 6 of them. And from three-point range, Villanova is 6 for 18 from the outside. So 2-point shots, Villanova's only attempted 12, and 3-point shots, Villanova's attempted 18 so far in the first half. Xavier from the outside shooting the ball at 3 shots they've converted on out of 9 attempts from three-point range. But the big thing here for Villanova has been the rebounding game so far. Villanova out-rebounding Xavier 18-12 right now in this one. The defensive rebounds are even at 11 for both of these teams. But right now, the big thing's been the offensive rebounds for Villanova, out-rebounding Xavier 7-1. In one of the possessions, Villanova got 4 offensive rebounds on that one possession. So that's been the key in this game. It's just been the rebounds off the offensive end for Villanova. Looking forward to see what happens in the second half between these two teams. Villanova on a 2-game losing streak, and Xavier has won 3 games in a row. So very, very interesting matchup here since Villanova is inside the top 25. So we're at halftime here. I'm going to look at the college basketball Big East standings before we get into that scoreboard of the games going on today. Number 11, Marquette, up at the top with a big win against Providence yesterday, as Marquette's 12-2 in the Big East right now, 23-4 overall. And then Villanova currently second in the conference. Other than that, St. John's third right now, and then on the bubble is Seton Hall, Georgetown, Butler, currently all on the bubble, and Xavier right after them, as Xavier is currently 7th in the Big East right now. So we're going to look at the college basketball scoreboard here. Central Florida just absolutely destroyed SMU today, 95-48. Taco Fall added in 23 points and 20 rebounds for the win for Central Florida. He's the tallest basketball player right now with all college basketball. The guy's 7'6", and Central Florida on the bubble right now with a record of 20-6 overall, 10-4 in the American. That's their largest win against a team in Division I since 2004. SMU, that's the largest loss in school history today. But with that blowout win by UCF, that just puts them closer to getting into that March Madness tournament, which right now it looks like they're looking like they'll be in there. How about this upset? Patriot League action. Holy Cross coming from Worcester, Massachusetts, traveling to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania for this one to pull out the upset in Lehigh Valley. 73-71. Holy Cross wins it. Desperation 3 right there from the right corner by Lehigh falls short, and Holy Cross gets the 2-point victory, as right now the Patriot League wide open currently, as Lehigh just fell right behind Bucknell for first in the Patriot League with that loss. So Lehigh with a record of 18-9 overall, 11-5 in the Patriot League, just fell right behind Bucknell. As Bucknell, I think, has been to the past few NCAA tournament games. We do have a couple of close games here. Looks like there's a game in the Mid-American, or yeah, I think that's the the Metro Atlantic here. Metro Atlantic, the MAAC between Canisius and Iona. 1-point game with 9:30 left to go in action. That one, there's a lot of mid-major games going on today. Patriot League matchup between American and Army. The game to look out for, though, with another team in the tournament from the American, is the Cincinnati Bearcats. And that's a Cincinnati team where Xavier from Cincinnati as well. So Cincinnati is up against UConn right now, and that game just started a couple minutes ago. So we're under 10 minutes left to go in the first. Cincinnati now with a 20-15 lead against UConn, playing at the University of Connecticut for that one. I think it's at the XL Center in Hartford for that matchup. How about Bucknell? So they know that they're first right now in the Patriot League, and they're absolutely destroying Lafayette currently in this one, 35-11. So the Patriot League frontrunner currently is the Bucknell Bison at this point with a 35-11 lead against Lafayette. I'm trying to see if there's any other games to note right now with smaller mid-major schools that look that they could be significant. I don't think there's much going on right now. No, there doesn't seem like much. But after this game, I'll have Michigan State against Michigan as part of the Sunday doubleheader. That game will tip off at 3:45 p.m. Eastern time. So after this game is done, join me for the conclusion. After the conclusion of this one, join me for the start of Michigan State against Michigan, as I'll be doing live play-by-play and reactions to that game, and I'll be continuing play-by-play and reactions here on Behind the Arc Basketball on Tuesday as well. I'll have Duke against Virginia Tech in that game. I think that's the first time both of those teams meet this season, so I'll have that game for you guys as well. Other games going on later today in college basketball: Loyola Chicago, who were the Cinderella last year of the March Madness tournament, they travel to Southern Illinois for that game. So Loyola Chicago right now with a 10-5 record in the Missouri Valley Conference, 17-11 overall, traveling to Southern Illinois to play them. Trying to look to see what other games we got. ACC battle later today, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Wake Forest will take on North Carolina State. That game will be played at North Carolina State. Currently, North Carolina State sitting kind of towards the bubble as well. 19-8 overall, 7-7 in the ACC. So that's a game that the Wolfpack will sure want to win as they play Wake Forest, who's one of the teams at the bottom of the ACC. We'll look to other matchups here with bubble teams. California has not won a single game in Pac-12 play this season. They travel to take on Arizona State in this one at Tempe. Arizona State is currently second in the Pac-12 conference right now. 18-8 record, 9-5 in Pac-12 play. And Arizona State currently sits on the bubble as I think like the last four in at the moment. And this will be another big win for Arizona State. They cannot wreck this with a loss today against the winless California team inside the Pac-12. Another team on the bubble is the Minnesota Golden Gophers. After their loss on Thursday against Michigan, right now they're 7-9 in the Big Ten. They couldn't beat Michigan on Thursday at home, and here they are traveling to Rutgers to play the 12-14 Scarlet Knights, who's 5-11 in the Big Ten. This game is huge for Minnesota. If they win, it increases their chances on being in the tournament, getting a bubble spot. If they lose, it hurts them pretty badly, as it will force Minnesota to be 7-10 in the Big Ten and 17-11 overall this season. So this is a huge game for the Golden Gophers at Rutgers later today, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, playing against Rutgers. And then the other major conference game to talk about is just Pac-12 action later tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Stanford playing against Arizona. That game at Tucson. Arizona has lost a bunch of games inside Pac-12 play. I think they've lost like 7 or 8 in a row as well. They're 6-8 right now in Pac-12 play, 15-12 overall. They at the beginning of Pac-12 play, they were like the number 2 team right behind Washington. And once the sorting started to go out towards like middle January, Arizona just collapsed completely, and they've never got back on track after this. It's just been a whole collapse this season for Arizona. But we look to other games. Actually, one game to note is the Southern Conference between these two teams, East Tennessee State and UNC Greensboro. I'm just going to bring up what the conference looks like right now. But that game will tip off at 3 p.m. There's 4 teams right now currently worthy of a March Madness spot inside this Southern Conference. Wofford is the number 1 out of all of them. 16-0 in the conference, 24-4 overall. And then you got UNC Greensboro playing against East Tennessee State later today at 3 p.m. That game tips off in about a half an hour or so, as both of those teams are UNC Greensboro is 23-5 overall. East Tennessee State is 22-7 overall. And then you also have the Furman Paladins, who came off a win in non-conference play and shocked Villanova. Furman currently with a 22-6 record. So any 4 of those teams can basically be in the March Madness. I'm curious to see if Wofford loses in the championship game of the Southern Conference. I wonder if they'll get a game on the bubble or so into the tournament, if they get that bubble spot or not. But another big game between number 2, number 3 in the Southern later today, East Tennessee State against UNC Greensboro. So this game will tip off in the second half. We'll get to Well, Michigan State, Michigan will tip off in about an hour and 10 minutes. But the second half here between Villanova and Xavier will start up momentarily. As yeah, that was a pretty interesting first half between both of the teams. Villanova already 18 3-point attempts in the first half. We'll see what they can do in the second half. They average about 30 3-point shots on the season in each of their games. But here we are between both of these teams right now as Villanova is coming in losing 2 games in a row, and Xavier coming in winning 3 games in a row. So very interesting matchup here, and it's only a 3-point game right now at the half. So right now in ESPN's latest bracketology, Xavier sits as a number 6 seed in the latest bracket projections, as Villanova, the key to this game in the second half is definitely draining 3-point shots. They had trouble of a time doing that against Seton Hall back in January, but the second half was completely different, and everything was going down in the second half for Villanova from the outside. That's why they completely destroyed Seton Hall that game. Once they get hot shooting from 3-point range, there's no stopping Villanova. If you can stop the 3-point shot, then you're going to have a good day against Villanova. But here we are with a 30-27 game, and we'll have to see what happens here in the second half. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing play-by-play and live reactions all season long to college basketball games, so don't miss a beat here with Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. So we look to the NCAA standings at this point right now, and we see that Duke's out in front, but they did lose against North Carolina on Wednesday, so curious to see how far they'll slip back. But they did beat Virginia twice, so that's the thing. So they should be better than Virginia, but I believe that Gonzaga should go all the way up to the number 1 team in the nation right now. Also, watch out for Kentucky as they keep on winning games. They beat Tennessee. Tennessee fell again against LSU on they followed LSU with like 0.2 seconds remaining, and LSU got both free throws in and won the game. But yeah, Nevada right now at number 6 in the nation. Curious to see how far back they fall in the rankings of the top 25, since they did lose a game this week as well. Also, Michigan State, that's going to depend on that game as well. We'll see who moves up, who moves down. In North Carolina, don't forget about number 8 North Carolina. They should be moving up a couple of spots with that big win against number 1 Duke. And Kansas, it looks like Kansas is going to drop below Texas Tech after Texas Tech and Jarrett Culver absolutely destroyed Kansas last night. So right now, that key player for Xavier, Zach Hankins, 8 points, 2 blocks right now for the Musketeers. They're only down by 3 at the half, and we're almost back to get back to action here at the Cintas Center. And here we are, back to the second half of play with 19:55 remaining. So Xavier will get the inbound here, dribbling towards the left basket, and the ball is stolen by Villanova on Xavier's first possession. So a steal here by Villanova. They got it. And now they're passing around the perimeter. So Villanova in their dark blue jerseys, white lettering. Xavier in their white home jerseys and dark blue lettering. We're here to action with 19.5 remaining. Villanova passing the ball around the perimeter. Left wing with Colin Gillespie. Passes the ball to Eric Paschal, moving the ball around the perimeter to Phil Booth. Passes the ball right wing 3. 3 seconds on the shot clock. No good from the outside by Sadiq Bey. Rebounded by Xavier with 19:15 left to go in the second. So Xavier with the ball. Paul Scraggs passing around the perimeter. Now trying to go inside for Xavier. And a two-handed jam off the pass inside. The key. Zach Hankins with 10 points right now for the Musketeers. 30-29. 18:55 left to go. Villanova with the ball. Colin Gillespie takes it past the timeline. Passes the ball right wing of the perimeter. Phil Booth dribbling with it. He passes the ball off. Here it is to Eric Paschal at the right wing. Feeds the ball to Gillespie. Top of the key 3. Colin Gillespie hits. Nothing but net from the outside by Gillespie. He has 6 right now. 33-29. Villanova up by 4. 18:30 left to go. Xavier with the ball. Here's Paul Scruggs trying to go inside. Low post in the key. Floats it, and it goes up and in into the basket. 2-point game. Paul Scruggs making moves between defenders right there and putting up the circus shot fadeaway right there to get that one to fall inside the low post. 33-31, Villanova with the ball. Colin Gillespie passes the ball to Cosby Roundtree. The left wing goes back to Gillespie, passes the ball top of the key here with Eric Pascal dribbling to the right wing. 6 on the shot clock, dribbling inside, the feed inside, the pass back outside. Gillespie, left wing 3, and didn't hit the rim at all. It was short as he airballed it. Rebound by Xavier. 33-31. Xavier with a chance to tie or lead on this possession. Step back 3 from outside. No good by Quentin Gooden. Rebounded by Villanova with 7:35 left to go in regulation. 0 lead changes, 2 ties in this game. The biggest lead has been Villanova up by 9. Colin Gillespie with the ball, passes it at the right wing of the perimeter, and now they pass it to the top of the key here for Villanova. This is Phil Booth trying to go inside, passing the ball right corner 3, and what a 3-pointer from the outside. Sadiq Bey hits that one from the right corner. Villanova up by 5, 36-31, 17:05 left to go in the second. Xavier with the ball. Villanova shooting 8 for 22 from behind the arc. A 3-pointer by Xavier. Paul Scruggs from the outside, 36-34. The 3-ball going down in the first few minutes of the second half here. Villanova with the ball with Colin Gillespie. Takes it past the timeline. Gillespie passes the ball top of the key here to Phil Booth. Booth dribbling towards the left wing and floats the ball back outside. Passing the ball right wing 3. Pascal. Nothing but net. Swashing it down. Eric Pascal. Villanova shooting the 3-ball hot. Xavier on the other side doing the same as well to start off the second half. 39-34. Let's see if Xavier can have a response here. Xavier dribbling out to the left wing of the perimeter. This is Najee Marshall with it for Xavier. Trying to go low post. Floats it up top. Up and in. Gets it to fall inside the low post by Najee Marshall. 39-36. Coming out hot for both of these teams in the second half. Villanova up by 3. 15-50 left to go. Najee Marshall with 9 points, 4 rebounds for Xavier. Phil Booth takes it past the timeline here for Villanova. He passes the ball off here to the top of the key. This is Eric Pascal, and we have an offensive foul by Pascal. Yep, I think we do. So we got a timeout here on the floor. Villanova up by 3 as we just got started with the second half. Finally, the first TV timeout of the second half. 39-36, 15:40 left to go in regulation. So that was an offensive foul called by Eric Pascal on the play for Villanova. So once we get back from the TV timeout, Xavier will get the ball back on the inbound, and they have a chance to tie if they do hit a 3-point shot. But right now, 3-pointers been going down for Villanova. They attempted 18 3-point shots in the first half, and coming out of the second half, they've already attempted 5 shots in the second half. They were, I think, 6 for 18 shooting during the first half. Now they're 9 for 23 from the outside for Villanova. So Villanova connecting on 9 3-point shots. Xavier's connecting on 4 out of 11 shots from 3-point range right now in this game. As we look to that shooting percentage, though, Xavier shooting the ball a whole lot better from the field. 53.8% conversion on their shots from the field for the Musketeers. Villanova shooting the ball at 43% from the field. However, Villanova out-rebounding Xavier right now 19-14 in this one, and also out-assisting Xavier 11-7. Going to see how those assists are distributed. Phil Booth with 3 assists right now for the Wildcats, and 2 assists by Sadiq Bey. And also Colin Gillespie adding in 1, same as Eric Pascal and Demir Cosby Roundtree. Leading the scoring right now at this point in the game is Phil Booth. He has 12 points. Eric Pascal with 10. right now, as he did start off the second half with a 3-point shot from the field. Xavier, their leading scorer, Zach Hankins with 10 points right now and 2 blocks and 2 rebounds. And also second on the team in scoring, Najee Marshall, 9 points right now for the Musketeers, 3 assists. He has turned over the ball, however, 3 times in this one. Second on the team in scoring for Xavier, Paul Scruggs, right now sitting at 7 points. An assist and a rebound to go along with his name currently in this game. So once we get back to action, it'll be 15 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in regulation. Nice passing around the perimeters we're seeing here on the CBS replay by Villanova to get the open man to take the open 3-point shot. And how about that long ball today for Villanova? 27 points out of the 39 have been from 3-point shots, and only 12 points have been from 2-point shots inside the 3-point arc. So 6 for 12 shooting 2-point shots in this game for Villanova. They're 9 for 23 shooting the 3-point ball from the outside. We're going to get back to action here. Villanova's out rebounding Xavier on the offensive end 7-1. There was one possession where they got 4 offensive rebounds on it. Trying to dribble inside low post. Xavier couldn't lay it up and in, and the ball is taken away by Villanova. We do have a bunch of bodies who did collapse on the court, as it looks like Tyreek Jones hit the floor hard there for Xavier on the play. Not a great day at all for Tyreek Jones, as he was coming into this game. For Tyreek Jones, he was off an 18-point, 15-rebound game in the 1-point win against Seton Hall. Today, he only has 2 points for Tyreek Jones. So now we're back to action here. Villanova with the ball. Phil Booth at the right wing of the perimeter. He passes the ball now. Left wing to Colin Gillespie. Gillespie feeds the ball inside. Low post. And to kick the ball back outside. Gillespie passes the ball left. Corner 3. No good. It's circled around the rim and out by Villanova. Rebounded here by Xavier. So the open 3-point shot from the corner could not go for the Wildcats. Xavier with a chance to tie if they do hit a 3-pointer. Instead, they're going low post. Zach Hankins backing his way in there. Jumper inside the key. No good. Rebounded by Villanova. 14:45 left to go. Villanova with the ball. Colin Gillespie will set up the offense here for the Wildcats. He's towards that left part of the court with the Cintas Center logo. Dribbles out towards the Xavier X. And he's dribbling towards the top of the key right now. Dribbling towards the left wing. Hands the ball off to Eric Pascal. Pascal at the free throw circle. Trying to go inside. Pascal kicks the ball back outside to Phil Booth. Phil Booth dribbling inside. Jumper. And it hits the rim short. No good inside the key. Rebounded by Xavier here. They take it past the timeline with Quentin Gooden. Gooden feeds the ball inside. Step back 3. Right corner. No good. It rattled out by Xavier. And the ball last tipped out of bounds by Villanova. So Zach Hankins got the rebound there for Xavier. And Villanova knocked the ball out of Hankins' hands off the back of his hands, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Wildcats. So Xavier will get the ball back here on the inbound. 14:08 left to go in regulation. Looking for the open man. They do. They lob it here to the left wing of the perimeter to Paul Scruggs, and he takes it out, and now he hands it off top of the key, trying to go inside. Left elbow jumper, and he hits it off the backboard up and in. 4-2. I think that was, Elias Harden, number 4 for Xavier from the sophomore from East Point, Georgia. Hit that shot home off the backboard. 39-38, 1-point game. Villanova with the ball. Right wing of the perimeter here. This is Pascal, whether he passes it off here. Phil Booth, top of the key. Thought about taking a 3, passes off to Pascal. Right wing 3. Nothing but net from the outside. Eric Pascal delivering on back-to-back 3-point shots. 42-38, silencing the crowd here at the Cintas Center. 4-point lead for Nova. 13:20 remaining. Left wing 3 in response. And it's up and in. From the outside, Quentin Gooden. 42-41. We got a 3-ball. 3-ball fantasy right now. Flying outside. And all the shots are hitting here in the second half. Everything going down in this 3-ball fantasy festival. Here we are, Villanova with the ball. They take it past the timeline. Phil Booth with it. Dribbling towards the right wing of the perimeter. And right wing 3, no good. Oh, what an offensive rebound and a 2-handed jam. Helping out the teammate Sadiq Bey. puts it back off the missed shot from three-point range and slams it home. 44-41. Villanova up by 3. Xavier with the ball. 12:30 left to go. The shot no good inside the low post by Xavier. Rebounded by Villanova with 12:25 left to go in the second. Villanova with the ball. They're at the top of the key towards the edge of the X of the Xavier logo. And that ball was handed off, almost lost out of the hands by Phil Booth. He did get it back before it went out of bounds. Phil Booth trying to drive to the basket. No good. He could not get the reverse layup up and in. And it's rebounded by Xavier with 12:03 remaining and a stoppage in time here on the court with a foul. Going to update the chat here with a score. Close game, 44-41. That was the second foul by Villanova off the Xavier rebound right there. So that's what happened. Yeah, and Jay Wright might have thought that was a tie-up on the rebounding foul by Villanova, as the refs look like they'll sort it out. So the missed layup by Phil Booth, and it looks like number one right there for Villanova. Number one for Xavier was Paul Scruggs to get the rebound. And Villanova tried to get the tie-up, but it appears that Xavier got to the ball first right there. Paul Scruggs basically maintained the ball, so they'll call it a foul on Villanova. And Jay Wright still trying to get an explanation from the refs why they didn't roll that a tie-up there for Villanova. Xavier will get the ball here on the inbound. They inbound pass it with 12 minutes left to go. We're back to action here. Villanova 44, Xavier 41. Xavier with the ball, dribbling towards the top of the key. In the pass, left corner three from outside. Another Manette. This game's tied up at 44. Paul Scruggs off the pass to Elias Harden. And it's the first tie in this game since 7-7 in the first half. 11:35 left to go in regulation. Villanova with the ball. They take it past the timeline. Javon Quinterly hands the ball off here to Colin Gillespie, and they pass it left wing on the perimeter here to Eric Pascal. Pascal at the top of the key, trying to dribble inside. Pascal feeds the ball down inside the low post, kicks it back outside. Here to Gillespie, trying to dribble with it, and there's a foul called by Xavier. Bumped into Colin Gillespie when he was dribbling, but how about that three-pointer to tie this thing's up with Xavier from the outside is 44 even. The first tie since 7-7 in this game. Don't leave yet, because this one is going to be a wild one, hopefully, to the finish. 44-44. This is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing play-by-play and live reactions all season long to college basketball games, so don't change the dial right now, because we got ourselves a good game for this one. So 11:18 left to go, and a tie game at 44. The first tie since 7-7 in this game. Both of these teams have been hitting the three-point shots to come out in the second half hot, shooting from the field. Villanova leading the scoring right now. Eric Pascal with 13 points. He hit back-to-back three-point shots. He's currently 3 for 4 shooting from the outside in this game. 5 for 7 from the field. Phil Booth currently second in scoring right now for Villanova, as Phil Booth is shooting the ball at 2 for 7 from the field. He's 5 for 13 right now, shooting the ball 2 for 7 from three-point range currently for Phil Booth, so he's right behind Pascal. In points, as we look to Xavier, their leading scorer is Zach Hankins, still at 10 points right now, and right behind them with 9 points, Najee Marshall, currently in this one. So if you're just joining us now, the score on a TV timeout is Villanova 44, Xavier 44. This has been the first tie since the game was 7-7 in the early stages of this game. If what you missed out was the three-point shots falling down in the second half, Villanova from three-point range has been red hot out of the second half in this game. Villanova shooting the ball 10 for 26 from the outside. Xavier right now in response to that 6 for 14. I think Xavier at halftime only connected on, I think, like 2 3-point shots, but they've hit 4 3-pointers to start off this second half, and they've basically been in response to Villanova scoring right now. So we're going to be back to action momentarily in this one. 11-18 left to go. When we do get back to action, the tie game at 44 off the Xavier 3-pointer was the last play that just happened. So feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing play-by-play and live reactions all season long to college basketball games, getting you ready throughout the conference tournaments coming up. And, of course, don't miss out on the March Madness tournament as well, getting you covered throughout that. So make sure to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well down below. This is doubleheader college basketball Sunday, game 1 of game 2, Michigan against Michigan State coming up next. After this one, don't change the dial just yet because Villanova and Xavier is tied up at 44. We're almost halfway through the second half as well. As we're back here with the game, we're almost getting ready to inbound the ball once again. It looks like tomorrow, I think, when the AP poll gets released, it should be Gonzaga at the top of it after the Duke loss. So that's what will happen. So we're getting ready to go back to action here. Villanova gets the ball back here in the inbound. They take it back to the Xavier X. It's Javon Quinterly who passes the ball off to Phil Booth, dribbling towards the left wing of the perimeter here. Phil Booth. Booth trying to dribble baseline, kicks the ball back outside. Right corner 3. No good. It's the front part of the rim there by Sadiq Bey on the miss. Rebounded by Xavier. Xavier with a chance to take the lead in this game. Left wing 3. No good from the outside. Could not hit the shot. Was Quentin Gooden. Rebounded by Villanova. 10:45 left to go in regulation. Villanova at the edge of the Xavier X. They take it past the timeline. As it's Javon Quinterly who passes the ball off to Colin Gillespie. Top of the key here with Gillespie. Dribbling towards the left side of the perimeter. Passes the ball here. Right wing to Sadiq Bey. Right wing 3. Handoff to Javon Quinterly. No good. Rebounded by Xavier. Xavier with an opportunity, pushing tempo with the ball, trying to go inside to outside. And they go back inside and up and in with the lead. 46-44 with their first lead of the game. The Xavier Musketeers with 10:20 left to go and leading to a timeout called by Jay Wright of Villanova. Don't change the dial here. Villanova is now down by 2. 44-46 at Xavier time with a lead. What a game. This is a Xavier team who was dead last in the conference a week ago. It was them and Providence who were dead last in the conference, and whoever won that game would pull out ahead in Big East play, and Xavier did. And now they're sitting at 7th in the conference, and right now they have the lead against the number 2 team in the Big East and currently number 17 in the AP Top 25. So right now, this is huge for both of these teams. Villanova trying to not lose 3 games in a row. If they do lose 3 games in a row, they probably will drop out of the AP Top 25 this week if they do get that 8th loss in there, if they lose to Xavier. So that is not good. They'll be replaced inside that AP Top 25, and they have 3 more games after this. You do not want to end on a 6-game losing streak, as it gets tougher here. They play against Marquette, which they lost by 1 a few Saturdays ago at the Fiserv Forum. Then they play against Butler and Satan. Both of those teams are on the bubble. So the schedule not looking good out here for Villanova. For Xavier, they have 2 more games against St. John's and a game against Butler as well. This game is huge for both of these teams. Xavier on a 3-game winning streak. The only way that Xavier can get into the tournament is basically they have to win their entire Big East tournament to get there, basically. But right now, Xavier went from worst to 7th place in about a week in the Big East Conference, and now with a win, they could bypass Butler and Georgetown with a 7-8 record and tie Seton Hall at 4th in the conference. So jumping all the way from 10th to 4th within 10 days. Not even 10 days is insane. More like 9 days when Or more like, yeah, more like 8 days, actually. Yeah, since it was last Saturday. Not yesterday, but the Saturday before that they beat Providence. That was a battle for the two worst teams at that point of time inside the Big East, and now they went from 10th, being tied for 10th, to 7th, and they have a chance to move up to being tied for 4th if they do get the W for this one. So right now we're almost back to action. Xavier taking their first ever lead of this game, up 46-44. We know about blown leads by Villanova. They have not scored a single point in the last 2 minutes and 26 seconds in this game. They blew a 19-point lead against St. John's last Sunday and lost. Here we are back to action. Xavier with their first lead of this game, 46-44. 10:08 remaining. Villanova with the ball at the right corner of the perimeter. Passing it off. Eric Pascal now inside the low key. And Pascal, no good. Rebounded by Xavier. Wow, what a game. Under 10 left to go in regulation. Xavier passing the ball around the perimeter. Right wing three. No good from outside by Quentin Gooden. Offensive rebound, though, by the Musketeers. They'll set up the offense back. Najee Marshall passing the ball, and he gets it back into his hands at the Cintas Center logo at the left side of the perimeter. Marshall. Left wing three. Najee Marshall connects. 49-44. Xavier with a 5-point lead. Coming from behind in the Musketeers on a 15-5 run in the last 6 minutes and 45 seconds. Villanova now with the ball into the hands of Sadiq Bey, and he passes it off. Top of the key here for Nova. It's Phil Booth. Booth trying to go inside, and miscommunication with his teammates. He tried to pass it inside the low post, and the ball bounces out of bounds, and it's a turnover by Villanova. So out of nowhere, Xavier on a 15-5 lead at home, trying to extend their winning streak to 4 games in a row, and here they are possessing the ball once again. 49-44, 5-point lead. Xavier with it. Top of the key with Quentin Gooden. Gooden dribbling towards the right wing of the perimeter. Passes the ball left corner. Oh, it's another three from the outside. Paul Scruggs hitting it with an 8-point lead. 18-5 run in the last 7 minutes of play. Xavier with an 11-0 run in total in the last 3 minutes, 10 seconds. 52-44. Villanova with a ball at the free throw circle. Jumper, no good. Hit the rim short. Eric Pascal. Villanova is cracking under pressure here. Xavier with a rebound. They take it past the timeline. Top of the key and setting up the offense is Paul Scruggs. This Xavier team might be dangerous for the Big East tournament. Dribbling towards the right elbow jumper. Oh, he connects. Najee Marshall. Now they're up by 10. Xavier 54, Villanova 44. No response here by Jay Wright. He has not taken another timeout. 0 points in the last 4 minutes and 55 seconds by Villanova. Left wing three. Phil Booth, and he cannot hit. And another rebound by Xavier. Xavier dribbling, kicks it back outside. Right wing three. And they airballed it. Oh my goodness. Najee Marshall thought that he was going to hit that. When he shot that 3-pointer, he thought it was perfect. And he was celebrating before that shot went in, and he airballed it. It had the perfect angle on it, but he airballed it over the net and it went out of bounds. So we have a timeout on the court here. Out of nowhere, Xavier is leading this game by 10. Insane. $7:40 left to go. Feel free to like my video, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing play-by-play and live reactions all season long to college basketball games, so don't miss a beat here with Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Villanova just cannot. They came out of the gate in the second half shooting the 3-ball really well from the floor, and right now they have not been able to hit 3-pointers left and right from the field in the past couple minutes. So shooting percentage has dropped for Nova right now, shooting the ball at 37% from the floor. Xavier shooting the ball at 52.5% right now with 7:40 left to go. Villanova is in trouble. They're on the verge of losing their 3rd game in a row. At one point, they were out-rebounding Xavier by a hefty margin. I believe it was like 19-11. Right now, they're only out-rebounding Xavier by 1. Villanova from three-point range. They've knocked down 10 three-point shots out of 29 attempts. They only need to attempt one more three-pointer, and they've hit their average once again as they attempt about 30 three-pointers per game. That is good for the fourth most attempts right now by a team in all college basketball this season. Xavier, they're 8 for 19 with three-pointers from the outside. They've recently been able to hit their three-point shots in the last few minutes. That's why they're in the lead in this game. But wow. Unreal. Unreal how Xavier's just come storming out the past few times. Xavier's on a 13-0 run in the last 6 minutes of this game. Like, where they come from? It's insane. I think there's like a 13-0 run, and I think they've outscored Villanova in the past stretch. I think like 18-5 in the last like 8 minutes or so, but the past 6 minutes or so, they're on that 13-0 run, just coming out of nowhere doing so. We're gonna look to the box score here and see, and it's Najee Marshall for Xavier right now, helping out a teammate. Tyreek Jones currently with only 2 points for tonight, has Tyreek Jones had 18 points and 15 rebounds in the last game, but out of nowhere, Najee Marshall just nailing down buckets right now, leading the scoring for Xavier with 16 points. Villanova's got ice cold. 13-0 run in the last 4 minutes and 9 seconds for the Musketeers. Coming out of nowhere, looking to extend their winning streak to 4 games. They were tied for last in the conference last Saturday with Providence. They've moved up from 10th to 7th in the conference, and now if they hold on and win this game, they have a chance to be tied for 4th in the conference and move ahead of Georgetown, Seton Hall, and Butler in conference play. Be tied with St. John's. That's insane. So here we are, Villanova with the ball. They've missed their last 6 shots from the field, trying to go down low. Colin Gillespie looking for somebody. Kicks the ball back outside. Eric Pascal at the left wing of the perimeter, passing towards the right wing now. Phil Booth dribbles to the top of the key to feed down low, and it's almost intercepted by Xavier, but it bounced off the rim, and Villanova gets the courtesy of they get the ball back, and no good. The shot cannot fall from the outside by Villanova. Xavier with a rebound with 7:05 left to go. 54-44. The Musketeers on a roll in the last 4 minutes in this game. 13-0 run in the past 4 minutes, 50 seconds. Dribbling around the perimeter, Elias Harden puts the ball into the hands of Paul Scruggs here, trying to go low post. Paul Scruggs, no good, but he gets fouled, and Paul Scruggs will go to the line for the Musketeers, up by 10. Paul Scruggs is a 77% free throw shooter this season. He's at the line right now, trying to extend the Xavier lead to 11. Colin Gillespie got charged with the foul for Villanova. Here's Scruggs. First shot goes down. We got ourselves an 11-point lead by the Musketeers. I'll update the score here once we get back to action. 44-56 now, and he connects. So Xavier out to a 12-point lead with a huge 15-0 run. No points in the last 6 minutes, 6 seconds, and a three-pointer from outside cannot go down again by Villanova. They're cracking under pressure at this point. Villanova cannot hit a shot. Xavier gets the rebound. Top of the key, trying to dribble low post with it. Going past defenders, up and in off the glass. Quentin Gooden with 2, and he is hurt. Holding his knee, and that's not good. Oh, no, that's Tyreek Jones who's hurt. That is Tyreek Jones who went down. Hopefully they can show that replay. Not a good day at all for Tyreek Jones. He only had 2 points up to that point in the game. This is not good. We have 6:23 remaining. Tyreek Jones is the leading rebounder on the Xavier team as he's walking off Gimpy to the bench right now with his knee. Yep, so it was Quentin Gooden who laid it up and in, and Tyreek Jones, just in case Gooden missed that shot, he tried to go for the offensive rebound, soared high in the air, and he just fell down right on a Villanova player right in his way, and Oh, wow. So Tyree Jones looking like he's not going to quit. Yeah, he went back to the bench, but now he's going back to the scorer's table. So don't count him out yet. Here we are, back to the game. Villanova with the ball down by 14, and we have a foul called on the play. Gonna update the score right now for you guys. $14-point lead for Xavier right now. $58-44. We're back to action here. Villanova with the ball, trying to dribble down low post. Phil Booth jumper. No, he cannot hit. Offensive rebound though by Sadiq Bey. Covered, kicks the ball back outside to Gillespie. Now they're passing to Booth. Booth trying to dribble. Shot in a key. It is denied right there. Tyreek Jones coming back in the game after he hurt himself. Not even a minute ago. Went to the scorer's table, checked back out into the game. 17-0 run in the past 6 minutes for Xavier. Here we are again after the huge block by Tyreek Jones. Looks like he's okay. Trying to dribble low post and no good. Was Quentin Gooden, but he gets fouled, and Gooden going back to the line for 2. Unreal block right there in the vertical by Tyreek Jones on the shot inside the key by Phil Booth. Villanova having no answers right now for Xavier. 58-44. Villanova cannot hit a shot down. I don't think they've hit a single shot down in the past 8 minutes to play in this game. I'm going to update the score right now. Feel free to like my videos, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing play-by-play and live reactions all season long to college basketball games, so stay in the know here throughout the end of this regular season, all the way through the conference tournaments, and of course, I'll be covering the March Madness tournament. And don't forget, after this one ends, I'll be covering number 10 Michigan State playing against number 7 Michigan in that one. That should be a good game for the battle for Michigan. But what you've missed here, Xavier on absolute control right now. It's unreal what Xavier's been doing on a 17-0 run, and they also get the inbound. They pass the ball back to the top of the key here. Musketeers with 5:35 remaining. And the ball in the hands of Najee Marshall as they kick the ball back outside. Passing around the perimeter here. Paul Scruggs with it. Top of the key. Passes it off here to Najee Marshall. Marshall dribbling towards the Cintas Center logo. Marshall at the top of the key 3. Hits the top part of the iron. Rebounded by Gillespie of Villanova with 5:10 remaining. Let's see if Villanova can finally hit a bucket. They're down by 14, moving the ball around the perimeter at the right side. And it's tipped away and stolen by Xavier. Xavier with numbers in transition and a foul called. Wow, so Villanova with a foul called there. Xavier had numbers on the steal on the fast break. And Jermaine Samuels picks up the foul for Villanova. And it wasn't a shooting foul, so Xavier will get the ball here back on the inbound. So Quentin Gooden will be the inbound passer here with under 5 left to go. Villanova needs to make up a lot of ground in this game to get back in it and to not drop their 3rd game in a row. Here's Paul Scruggs dribbling towards the left side of the perimeter. Hands the ball off here to Gooden. Gooden dribbling towards the left side of the perimeter for Xavier. Gooden trying to go the distance inside. Feeds the ball in there, and an offensive foul called by Xavier right there, as it looks like Colin Gillespie took the charge and fell down on the court. So Quentin Gooden tried to take the ball inside, dish it out to underneath the basket to Tyreek Jones, but Gooden gets called with a foul, and looks like Gillespie checks out of the game here for Villanova with 4:41 remaining. Gillespie a little gimpy after that shot he took on the charge right there. Took a pretty good hit right on that as he took the charge. And here we are again. Villanova with the ball. They're down by 14. They're 0 for 10 in the last 8 minutes, 5 seconds. Shooting the ball from the field. Trying to go inside low post. And, oh, man, we have a foul call by Xavier. Just out of control was Tyreek Jones, thinking that Xavier put up a shot and he just jumped on thinking that Villanova took up a shot, and Tyreek Jones just jumped on a Villanova player right underneath the basket right there. So Tyreek Jones picks up his 4th foul of the game, and he checks out right now with 4:33 left to go to play. That's their 5th foul for Xavier as a team. Villanova with 5 as well. Villanova with an inbound, 4.5 remaining. Try to go low post, and we got another foul call by Xavier. So they pick up their 6th foul with 4.5 remaining. Still a 14-point lead by Xavier. And Villanova gets the inbound here. 4.5 remaining. 3 ball. Phil Booth, and he hits the front part of the iron. Rebounded by Xavier. Villanova just cannot get a shot to fall. 17-0 run in the last 7.5 minutes in this game. Xavier with the ball. Dribbling towards the left side of the perimeter here. Now dribbling towards the top of the key into the right side. Quentin Gooden passing the ball here. Left part of the perimeter. And now trying to go left baseline with it. A feed inside and miss slam dunk by Zach Hankins as bodies collide. Hankins tried to get his own offensive rebound off the dunk, but he collides with a Villanova player. And wow, that definitely looked like a flat-out dunk, but Villanova denying Zach Hankins to put that one and slam it with his 2 hands into the bucket. We have a TV timeout here on the court with 4:03 left to go in regulation. Going to update the score once again. Villanova has not scored a bucket in a very long time in this game, and that's why they were up at 1 point, 44-41, but now you see them losing 44-58. That is the reason why in this game, because a 17-0 run by Xavier, and Villanova shooting the ball at 0 for 11 from the field. So right now we're going to look at the box score, and that shooting percentage number for Villanova just keeps on dropping. They've attempted 32 3-point shots. They've only made 10 of them. They're shooting the ball 17 for 51 from the field. They've only converted on 7 2-point shots in this game. Xavier shooting the ball at a pretty good clip today. 51.2% from the field. They're 22 for 43 today. 8 for 20 shooting the ball from 3-point range. Xavier, they've been pushing up the tempo quite a bit. They're on a 17-0 run on a TV timeout that was just called. Villanova, you notice the score right here. Villanova was up with 12:03 left to go in the second. They were up 44-41. Now we have 4 minutes left to go in this game, and Xavier is on a 17-0 run in the past 8 minutes in this game. They've exploded, and here we are on this TV timeout. Now, Villanova most likely looking like they're going to lose their 3rd game in a row, as Xavier will win their 4th game in a row here if this stands with the last 4 minutes in this game. So feel free to like my video, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing play-by-play and live reactions all season long to college basketball games, getting you through the end of this season for college basketball into the March Madness tournament as well. So feel free to hit that like button and that subscribe button down below. Next game after this, I'll be doing Michigan against Michigan State. Number 10 Michigan State going up against number 7 Michigan for that one after the conclusion of Xavier against Villanova. 0 for 11 shooting in the past 9 minutes for Villanova. Xavier 6 for 11. That's where we see that Villanova has just completely stopped scoring in the past 9 minutes of this game. Now we're down to 4 minutes left to go in regulation. They have a lot of ground to make up, down by 14. 24% shooting in the second half for Villanova. 55% for Xavier. Xavier gets the ball in the inbounds. Trying to go inside the low post. Dishes it back outside. Right corner 3. No good from outside. And rebounded by Villanova after the missed 3-point shot by Paul Scruggs. Villanova with the ball. They need to get something to go quickly from the outside and convert on shots here for Nova. They're down by 14. Passing the ball too much. Joe Cremo fed inside and it goes up and in. off the reverse hand layup right there. It's 58-46. So finally, after 9.5 minutes of not scoring for Villanova, they finally get the bucket. Xavier up by 12, 58-46. 3:20 left to go in the game. Ball almost stolen by Villanova. They're trying to press on defense here. Quentin Gooden at the Cintas Center logo, passing the ball right wing of the perimeter here to Najee Marshall. And it looks like we do have a foul called on a reach in here by Villanova. They pick up their 7th foul of the game. Looks like Xavier will go to the line for the 1-and-1. So I'm going to update the score here. Feel free to like my video, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing play-by-play and live reactions all season long to college basketball games. So 3:11 left to go in the second, and it looks like we do have Najee Marshall shooting at the line for the 1-and-1. He hits his first. So Najee Marshall, a 72% free throw shooter, hits his first from the line. Second one, no good. Hits the top of the iron, rebounded here by Villanova. So take it past the timeline with Javon Quinterly. Dribbling now towards the right wing of the perimeter is Quinterly. With 3 minutes left to go, they really need to score. Right wing three, no good. Hits the rim short. Villanova offensive rebound. Followed up his own shot with Quinterly. Missed his second, rebounded by Xavier. 59-46 with 2:45 left to go. Xavier was on a 17-0 run before Villanova scored. They did not score a single bucket in 9.5 minutes before they finally got to that 46-point mark. Xavier is up by 13 with 2.5 remaining. Xavier with the ball. Quentin Gooden at the Cintas Center logo. Dribbles to the top of the key here. Passes. Right wing three from outside. No good by Najee Marshall. Offensive rebound and a slam. Jam by Tyreek Jones. 61-46. That might have just put the icing on the cake. What a game for the Musketeers. They go from being tied for last 8 days ago with Providence in the conference. They move up to being 7th place in the Big East, and they have a chance to being tied with St. John's for 3rd place in the conference after this game. Or tied with Seton-Hall, actually. So right behind St. John's. So tied for 4th. St. John's is an 8-7 record. So if Xavier wins this, they're tied with Seton-Hall with 7-8 in the conference. So they'd be ahead of Georgetown and Butler if they moved up here. And just right behind St. John's, basically. What a game. .220 left to go, and it's a 61-46 lead for Xavier, looking like they're going to win their 4th game in a row. I don't think anybody projected this. I think everybody thought Villanova will win this game, but now Villanova is having problems as they've lost the past 3 games on the road. Up next, it's going to get harder. They're playing against the best team in the Big East, the number 11 Marquette Golden Eagles, Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Then they're at home against Butler next Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Butler, a team on the bubble right now, hungry to get a W against Villanova. Then they close it out against another bubble team at Seton-Hall on Saturday, March 9th. The games are going to get tougher from here for Villanova, while Xavier is at St. John's for their next game on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. They're playing against St. John's again at home on March 9th. They also got an away game at Butler on March 5th at 6 p.m. Villanova now with the ball, passing around the perimeter. As they're dribbling, we do have a foul called. So foul called by Xavier. So Villanova will go to the line now to shoot 1-and-1 here in the bonus. It'll be Eric Pascal at the free throw line. 20% from the line for Villanova today. Hits the first one. 61-47. Right now, Nova is down by 14. I think that was 20% shooting from the field today, yeah. Second shot from the line goes down. 61-48. They're down by 13. 2:10 remaining and trying to get it out of the double team trap. And a timeout called by Xavier with 2:08 left to go. I'm going to update the chat here with a score once again. Villanova with 48. Xavier with 61 with 2:08 left to go to play when we get back after the timeout called by Xavier. After this game, I'll have coverage of the next one. After this one, Michigan against Michigan State. So feel free to tune into that as well for the Battle of Michigan. Let's see here what's going on right now in the box scores. The leading scorer for this one's been Najee Marshall with 17 points for Xavier. He has 7 rebounds to go along with that today. Also, second on the team in scoring 12 points by Paul Scruggs, and tied for third on scoring Zach Hankins with 10 points right now. Quentin Gooden with 10 points as well for the Musketeers. We look to the Villanova Wildcats, 15 points leading the way today. Eric Pascal, 12 points by Phil Booth, who coming into this game is the leading scorer as Phil Booth averages 18.6 points per game. This is the first time Villanova will lose 3 straight games since January 12th to 19th in 2013. If this result becomes true, they have to make this a 13-point or a greater comeback with 2:08 remaining if they don't want that to happen. Villanova's 11-2 against Xavier since 2006. They've won 5 straight games, and then they're now in jeopardy with 2 minutes remaining here. Xavier gets the ball past the timeline. And they're setting up the offense here as they're laying back on the tempo right now. Xavier at the Cintas Center logo. Passes the ball here, left wing of the perimeter, and almost stepped right outside that baseline, but Villanova gets charged with the foul as they bumped into a Xavier player right there trying to steal the ball away. I think Colin Gillespie is the one who got charged with the foul. So Xavier back to the line for the 1-1, 61-48 with 1:50 remaining. Quentin Gooden at the line once again. He's a 70% free throw shooter on the season. Here's Gooden with his first. Hits it. 62-48. 14-point lead for Xavier with 1:50. Gooden will go back to the line for his second one. Second shot from the line. Rattles out off the top of the rim. Rebounded by Villanova. They have a lot of work to do to come back in this one. Phil Booth passes the ball off to Pascal. It's stolen away by Xavier. Xavier now with numbers in transition. Missed the slam dunk. But a foul called. And Xavier will go to the line for 2. As Quentin Gooden with a steal, and he gets fouled by Phil Booth as Gooden tried to soar high to the rim right there, and he got fouled as he tried to slam it down with one hand. So back to the line again is the 70% free throw shooter, Quentin Gooden, trying to extend this 14-point Xavier lead. With 1:38 remaining, it misses his first. Since it was a shooting foul, he'll shoot 2 from the line, so he'll shoot another one here. Xavier really pushed the tempo where they went on that 17-0 run in the middle of the second half. Second shot from the line by Gooden, he missed it. 62-48 is still the score with 1:33 remaining. Trying to go to the bucket, up and in by Phil Booth. 12-point game here. Xavier the inbound. They do get it into their hands, and they do pass it past the timeline. That ball would have been stolen by Villanova, but Colin Gillespie just bumped right into a Xavier player. That ball was thrown way wide over the head of a Xavier player. Would have been stolen by Villanova, but Colin Gillespie just bumping right into a Xavier player, and Xavier will go back to the line once again. What a game for right now for Xavier, just a breakthrough against Villanova. 17-0 run Xavier went on in this one, and they're up by 12 right now, 62-50 with 1:24 remaining. Colin Gillespie just fouled out for Villanova. So I'm going to update the score here for you guys. Once again, feel free to like my video, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing play-by-play and live reactions all season long to college basketball games throughout the season, and of course the March Madness tournament. As this is game 1 of game 2 today. Michigan State coming up next right after this one. Xavier at the line, and they're at the double bonus right now. Missed the first. 62-50. Colin Gillespie is just fouled out. Paul Scruggs at the line, missed his first. Here's his second, hits it. 13-point lead for the Musketeers. 77% from the free throw line this season's Paul Scruggs. What a game for Xavier, as they extend that winning streak to 4. If they can pull off the W with the last minute and 15. Three-pointer, missed it wide. Oh, the tip-in is up and in by Villanova. 63-52, 11-point lead. And inbound off the foot of a Xavier player. We're not done just yet. Quentin Gooden could not play that cleanly off the inbound pass as it left his hands, went off his knee and out of bounds. This is still anybody's game. 52-63. Villanova will inbound. Joe Cremo looking to pass it. Finally finds Pascal. It's stolen away by Xavier, but there was a foul called on the reach-in. So Villanova will get to go to the free throw line here, I believe. So I'm going to update the score for you guys again. Villanova was down by 14 just a minute ago. Off the Xavier turnover, they're only down by 11. And Villanova's at the line. First shot, it goes down right there from the free throw line by Eric Pascal. Minute and 6 remaining. $63-53, trying to cut this into a 9-point lead for the Musketeers. They do. 63-54. This game is not over yet. Xavier needs to inbound it. They do. Double team trap set up. They do. They get it past the half-court timeline and the two-handed jam. Up and in off the slammer jammer right there. Tyreek Jones showing you his finesse right there. 65-54. Xavier right corner three. Joe Cremo, and he misses it. Rebounded by the Musketeers. Up by 11 with 45 seconds remaining. Looks like this game's just about done. It doesn't look like Villanova's going to follow. They just do with 41.9. So a lot of time just ran off the clock there for Villanova to follow. If Joe Cremo had hit that three-pointer from the right corner, this would be a totally different game as far as following or whatever. But since he missed and Xavier at the rebound, it looked like Villanova just gave up. Now there's the free throw line. Misses his first. These missed free throws have kept Villanova in it a slight bit. 41.9 seconds remaining. Villanova, last time we checked, was on a number 6 seed in the latest bracketology. It looks like after this week, they'll drop to a 7 seed. 66-54. Shot from the line goes. Villanova with it, top of the key here. With Quinterly and too much dribbling. Joe Cremo in the game now. Top of the key, passes the ball. Right wing to Quinterly. Right wing deep three. Quinterly, no good. Rebounded by Xavier with 26 seconds left, and this game is just about done. What a big W in the column for the Musketeers. Gonna update the chat here with a final score, 66-54, as we're about 13 seconds away. Villanova has lost 3 games in a row, all on the road. What a job here at home today by Xavier. Unreal win. The clock goes down to double zeros. The Xavier Musketeers coming out victorious in this one. 66-54 against Villanova. Xavier has just won their 4th game in a row. 8 days ago, they were tied for last in the conference with Providence. They have moved all the way up to 7th in the conference, and now they're tied for 4th in the Big Ten right now. And that is, we're going to look at the Big Ten standings. Yep, they're tied at 7-8 in the Big Ten with Seton Hall right now. Villanova drops to 11-4 in the conference. They've lost their past 3 games in a row, all on the road. They've lost to St. John's and Georgetown, both away games, and they just lost this one. Xavier using a 17-0 run to their advantage to pull out in front and never look behind throughout this one. Next game on the stream will be Michigan against Michigan State. Feel free to tune into that one, as that one will start in about 10 minutes or so. Thank you so much for joining me. Wow. Unreal in this game. Xavier pulling out the huge upset against Villanova. It looks like now Villanova's lost 3 games in a row. And it looks like Villanova will most likely drop out of that AP top 25, and they'll drop from a number 6 seed back to a number 7 seed. That is Travis Steele's first ever win against an AP top 25 opponent, as he's a rookie head coach for the Xavier Musketeers. A lot to look forward for Xavier. Going from a number 1 seed in last year's March Madness tournament to losing their head coach Chris Mack to transfer over to Louisville, to now a new head coach Travis Steele rebuilding a Xavier team. And just 8 days ago, they were tied for last in the conference, and now they've moved all the way up to 4th in the Big East. Wow. Unreal win for the Musketeers. Before we get into Michigan State in a few minutes, I'm going to look at the box score here. Eric Paschal with 17 points as he led the game for Villanova, but here we are for Xavier. 17 points. Najee Marshall leading the way for the Musketeers in this one. Paul Scruggs coming in with 14 points, second on the team in scoring. Quentin Gooden with 11 points and 4 assists today, and Zach Hankins with 10 points. That just basically about wraps it up for this one. Feel free to like my video, share, and subscribe to my channel, and make sure to join me for my next video, which will start in about 10 minutes. It will be Michigan against Michigan State for the battle between the number 10 Spartans and the number 7 Wolverines. Thank you so much for joining me. Xavier uses a 17-0 run to propel the Musketeers to the W against number 17 Villanova. This has been a presentation of Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube.